Well, I'm so excited to be with you today. I'm Penny Caballo-Smith, and I'm Executive Director of the social enterprise Future Think, based in London. And what I want to tell you about today is a few things about what Future Think does and how you might be able to get involved. We were set up 9 years ago to solve a very particular problem. The problem was this: we've all been educated in a system designed for the industrial economy. But the problem is, our world has changed. How we live, work, and play have changed. The jobs we do, how we upskill, the skills we need, the way we find jobs, everything has changed. And new technologies have come on stream, and they've created a wealth of new jobs. These jobs never existed before, and they were only created a few short years ago. And the problem is, across all industries, all professions, all entrepreneurs, and all job seekers, new skills are needed in this digital economy in order to succeed. And there's a very significant skill shortage out there. According to the World Economic Forum, 133 million new jobs are to be created by 2022, and there are not enough workers to do those jobs. And if the World Economic Forum is to be believed, according to their forecasts, at least half of the people in this webinar today will need to be reskilled by 2022 simply to remain relevant in the workforce. At least half of the working population of Trinidad and Tobago will need to be reskilled by 2022. That's a reality. COVID-19 has been devastating. But the thing is, it has also created certain opportunities. It has turbocharged remote learning and working. According to McKinsey, digital transformation, which they thought would take place over 5 years, happened in 8 weeks. Retail moved more online. Decision-making became more data-driven. And the thing is, remote working has been working so well that companies are saying, we quite like this. And they plan to do more remote working in the future. And this has the effect of millions of jobs now being exportable. So it means that people in Trinidad and Tobago will have access to far more opportunities to live in Trinidad and Tobago and work anywhere in the world. The issue is this: among certain circles, especially elite circles, the new jobs, the new skills, the new upskilling pathways, and the new ways to find jobs are kind of well known and understood. But outside of those circles, it's like there's this huge market of opportunities out there, a job market out there, but it's like hidden from view. They can't quite see it. And the other issue is information overload. There is so much information out there. We can't tell the wood from the trees sometimes. And the very fast pace of change, the top 10 jobs in demand now never existed a few short years ago. The skills which are relevant now are not going to be relevant in a few years' time. Skills become obsolete so very quickly that we all have to learn, unlearn, and relearn new skills again and again throughout our working lives just to remain relevant in the workforce. We have to today prepare to do jobs that do not yet exist, using technologies not yet invented. How do you do that? So we had to set about finding solutions. And we wanted to be very evidence-based. So research lies at the heart of what we do. We go to the best quality labor market research, the best academics, the best thought leaders, but more is needed, because the issue is, often by the time insights and information hit the internet, or you find them in books, it's already obsolete. It's no longer relevant. You need your ear to the ground. And that's why we have a group of 7 advisors with their ear to the ground. They're across industry sectors, they're in academia, and they keep their ear to the ground and they keep us at the cutting edge. And we are also part of a network of organizations and professionals who also, we share information, we share opportunities so that we could all keep ahead of the game. We are deeply indebted to Harrow School. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's across the world. It's quite famous across the world, but it's where the elite across the world have been sending their children for 450 years to be educated. But they made a massive contribution to us because they trained me in particular to deliver workshops to their parents on the soft skills required to succeed in the digital economy. And that enriched our offering quite a bit. And something quite wonderful happened. They hired their first Black teacher in 450 years. And she's Trinidadian. She went to Naparima. She's a UE grad, math grad. And she put her weight behind us. We joined forces. We joined forces with the British Foundation of the University of the West Indies and the Caribbean Science Foundation. And collectively, we set up the Caribbean STEM Coaching Club in 2015 with great support from Harrow School, the Barbados High Commission, and other philanthropists. And we've been running that quite wonderfully and successfully for the last 5 years. And Future Think does workshops for the Caribbean STEM Coaching Club. They deliver workshops to the parents in particular and to professionals. COVID-19 hit. We had to think very quickly. We had to update our workshops for the realities of COVID-19, where, our world has been turbocharged in so many ways. But we also had to move our workshops online because we couldn't meet at Harrow School anymore. But that, of course, presented us with an opportunity because for a long time, we wanted to offer the workshops more widely, but didn't have that capacity. But moving online means that we can now offer the workshops to many others. And so these are the workshops that we do in England, in Harrow School, elsewhere, but now we offer to people in Trinidad and Tobago as well. They are designed for very busy people. So there are 5 workshops, only 1 hour each, highly interactive. We try to be very lively. We don't know it all. We encourage everyone to pool their knowledge, their experiences, their expertise as well. The first one is jobs and skills for the future. And that's where we unpack not just tech jobs or digital jobs, but emerging jobs in other sectors as well. And our advisors are already telling us about particular job opportunities they think people in Trinidad and Tobago are very well positioned to compete for. So we'll unpack that. The second workshop is about changing mindsets because you need a very different mindset, not a mindset suitable to the industrial age, a mindset suitable to the digital age. And what we do is we unpack some very powerful research done over the last 20 years into neuroscience and motivation, which is empowering a lot of people across the world to believe, to have that self-belief and that confidence that they can learn, unlearn, and relearn new and different things and quite hard things, irrespective of their age and irrespective of their prior levels of achievement. The third workshop is learning how to learn. And clearly, if we have to learn, unlearn, and relearn new things again and again and again, the most important skill we need is actually to learn how to learn. But that's not often taught in schools, not often taught in universities. So this is really important for us to unpack that. The fourth workshop is to upskill and manage careers. This is where all the participants create their own learning pathway and to digital upskilling. And we unpack the resources and the tools needed to find not just your next job, but your next several jobs. Then the next one is one that's very close to our heart, create the networking advantage. The one big thing we have learned over the last 9 years is this. The paradox of the technological age is that you need people more, not less. The best way to learn, to upskill, to spot opportunities, to find jobs, to create businesses is when you do that in a community of trusted relationships with others, where people are committed to helping and supporting each other and collaborating. That is still the best way to make the most of the opportunities out there. And we strongly believe that the one skill that we need to be teaching and we need to be learning is the ability to create and to nurture trusted relationships. If I, for example, am living in Barataria and working for a company in Australia, I will get to know what that company's skill shortages look like, and also, how they hire. I will know the inside track of what sort of micro-credentials they are looking for. I will be able to share that information with my trusted circle, and I'll be able to refer people to them and know that they would not embarrass me. That is really how you access opportunities nowadays. Yes, the digital platforms work. Yes, some people get jobs on LinkedIn, etc. But networking is really the most powerful way. It is true that your network is your net worth in the digital economy. A word about micro-credentials. Mr. Nigel Smith referred to them previously. There are thousands of them, and it's a little bit of a wild, wild west because there aren't many standards that have been developed. And that's why people need help navigating them and making sure that they choose ones that are fit for purpose. But we are shining a spotlight on the Microsoft industry recognized micro-credentials, which they have produced only since COVID-19, and to equip people for a post-COVID-19 economy. And what they did is they analyzed the top 10 in-demand jobs, and they have created courses to upskill people for those jobs. And this is all free up until December 2020. All you do is pay $15 for a certificate. So it's quite an opportunity, and these micro-credentials are actually well regarded. So we are highlighting this, and these are jobs also that they consider pay a living wage. So they're good quality jobs, not the very sort of rubbish jobs you sometimes get on the internet. So who benefits from all of this? Parents, for obvious reasons. I don't need to explain how important it is for parents to have a sense of opportunity and pathway so that they could support their children. Graduates. I think so many graduates feel so disappointed and let down by the system. And so it gives a greater sense of hope and opportunity, but we are particularly calling out to arts and humanities graduates because so many don't realize that in the US and the UK, the tech sectors hire more arts and humanities graduates than they do computer science and tech graduates and engineering graduates. You can make that transition if that's what you want to do. We also are particularly reaching out to the non-academic, particularly in marginalized communities. The research in neuroscience really is very powerful for those who are considered lower achievers, and it does motivate them. It does give them a sense of self-belief and confidence. Apart from that, a lot of people who are non-academic, they will probably realize that the sort of qualities, talents, and skills they have, while it is true they may not have been valued in an industrial economy, they might be very valuable indeed in a digital economy. And it would help enormously for them to learn how to learn, because often that's the reason why so many people don't do well. And quite frankly, all adult career changers or upskillers would benefit, because at the end of the day, we've all been educated for an industrial economy. We all need to bridge that gap and really understand what it takes to be fit for purpose in a digital economy. One thing that has happened very powerfully since COVID-19 is that the world-leading universities and companies got together and produced digital upskilling resources to equip people for a post-COVID-19 economy. So one of the things we do is we produce an upskilling roadmap to signpost people to the best of these resources. So at the end of the day, what do you leave with when you attend Future Think workshops? Curated content to support your own upskilling journey. We try to refer you to high quality upskilling resources designed for a post-COVID-19 economy. And these are almost all free. They're absolutely free, but for some reason, they're not widely known. People don't know about them. You'd also become part of Future Think's network, so you'd receive Future Think updates. You'd also be on the pathway to industry-recognized micro-credentials. The Microsoft ones aren't the only ones. There are other good ones coming on stream, particularly Google are planning to produce some more for a post-COVID-19 world as well. Very importantly, you'll be well equipped to support others in their upskilling journeys. And what we really hope is that you don't just share information and insights and support with the people in your family or your neighborhood or your community, but that you go out to the marginalized, the under-resourced communities and schools and help them with their upskilling journeys. Finally, one thing, what success looks like to us is if we know that there are loads of small communities of people who are committed to helping and supporting each other on this upskilling journey. Because as I said, it really isn't the case that you could go on this journey alone. It really is the case that together we aspire, together we achieve, and together we need to upskill digitally.
Get in about when classes will start. All of those things will be answered once you go to that link.
Thank you very much, Colonel Carter. I would just want to take some time to commend and congratulate all of the participants at today's webinar. You know, I spoke of the urgency and necessity. We don't have time to wait, Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 has created a transformation in life as we knew it. And the digital age was just waiting to walk into the space that has been created. Our country must get in step with where life is going now, and our country will only get in step when our people get in step. And so for all of you, including the 84 of you who are still online following the webinar, I want to congratulate and commend you. 2 of you will benefit from my own personal sponsorship for you to go and do courses with wherever you choose, whether it's Microsoft or Future Think or 21st Century Innovators. But I also would like to take time, I must commend our team of presenters. This is the diaspora, Trinidad and Tobago nationals abroad, working with Trinidad and Tobago citizens and nationals at home. This is what our motto speaks of. We all aspire to see our country at the front edge of the digital age, living all the promise and purpose and destiny of which we are so proud. It's time for us to achieve all that we aspire to together. God bless you again, and may God bless the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Have a pleasant and peaceful evening, and see you along the journey of digital upskilling. I'll be there too. Thank you.